Good morning. Some of my favorite vloggers and YouTubers have a name that they call their viewers, and it's funny because once you have so many subscribers or so many viewers, you don't actually know them. So then you have to qualify them or make them part of the group, which is funny. I don't have that yet. It's just people that I know, which is great. I love the people I know, but it just makes intros kind of funny. Boo and I are here today just to give a training update and talk about some not so fun stuff and some fun stuff. Trying to stay positive. How to stay positive when life and training don't go your way. So my primary question is, do you ever feel like life is going so fast that you cannot stay in the moment? You cannot prepare for all the things happening, and it's not even like you're taking one step forward, two steps back, or it's not like there's a roadblock stopping you from getting where you want to go. It's simply that I am moving and I don't know where I'm going. Life is passing me by and I can't figure out what steps I'm taking, and I feel delusional, but I think that this is a normal experience. Recently I had my dream trip to Canada canceled. I have drama with my tooth implant and getting my tooth reconstruction done soon. We have had a sick kitty in the house for just over a week that has resulted in a lot of vet ER visits and vet visits and a lot of phone calls and general work stress or general life stress. The fact that it's March and we're having more snow blizzards and it's 12 degrees outside, there's just a lot of things going on that are so outside of my control that really are impacting my main goal of triathlon training and YouTubing and just life. I feel like everybody has that. It's just a matter of when it comes up. All of that is to say that I think that training is really hard when life gets in the way, and the vibes this March have been off. The vibes are not what they should be. But I'm trying to recalibrate that. I'm here with my cup of coffee and my kitty and my electrolyte drink and my heating blanket and the book that I've been very into. I don't know, I'm a well-rounded person that likes to read too, and this book is very good. Would recommend. Maybe I should do a little recap of who I am and all the other things I like. That could be fun. But basically I'm just trying to stay positive, and this vlog is just an update on kind of the crapshoot that March has been while resetting my mind. I'm determined to reset my mind into a better rest of the month and a better spring. Initially, I had planned for 5 blocks of 4 weeks of training with a gradual increase in training volume or intensity, and then a decline in effort as a reset. Kind of keep the mountain climbing like that with my hand. That was fun. But basically, I've taken the last 2 weeks off because we had a vacation week. We did go to Duluth. That video is up and it was a lot of fun. Just tried to take a break from triathlon training, but I did get some activity in. And then last week with a really sick kitty, we didn't leave the house and we really didn't move much at all. I think I went for a couple of walks. I might have gotten on the bike once or twice. I think we'll go through Strava actually, look at some of my things. But training has not been right. So what I am doing is resetting with goals. Actually, let's just do that now. So I am pulling up my Strava account and I am pulling up my activities, and I'm going to go back to the beginning of March, just kind of recapping what has happened since I came back from California. So March 1st, I was on the bike. Looks like I did a good workout. I was on the bike again a couple days later. I went for a run with my new shoes for the first time. I bought new shoes right before California, but opted to take my regular running shoes that I was already comfortable in to travel with. So I did 3-mile run, which I have been running 3 miles consistently and like pretty comfortably, so that's good. Then I did a swim. That was not great. But the thing about that whole swim was that I expected more out of myself after coming back from vacation. And I think that I didn't let myself ease back into it towards the end of that. Just let myself like float around, do some breaststroke, do some backstroke, just be in the water for 30 minutes. And like I had more fun, you know, like the water is an enjoyable place for me to be, but it was just not a good workout. And frankly, I haven't been back in the pool probably since then. I guess we'll see. So I did another bike ride that was great. I did another Zwift ride and another Zwift ride, and a run yesterday. I kind of topped it off with a good run. Yeah, so I definitely need to get back in the pool, but what I've done on Strava is actually make myself goals. So I can see in my profile when I've hit my goals and what I'm doing to like increase intensity over the course of time. So my goals for the next 4 weeks are to get 5 miles of running in every week, which is kind of on the lower end. I'd like to get 6 every week, but make things attainable, right? Then to be in the pool for an hour. I want to get to the point where I'm doing longer workouts, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. And then to cycle 30 miles a week. That's like relatively easy for me, but I have not been staying on the saddle for a long time because I think I have too wide of a saddle. So I did just get some new bike shoes, and I got new pedals, and Eric is giving me a new seat. So I'm definitely excited to show off my new setup and get on some longer rides. So that's basically my goal with Strava, and I'm really grateful that this subscription is like a lot of data, and I think the setup is really pretty and nice to like track my progress over time. So would definitely recommend, if you care to be on Strava, let's like follow each other and give each other likes on all of our stuff. I find that extremely motivating and don't think that I get enough likes for all my effort, but I'm probably just being selfish there. While we're here, I guess I'll just pop over to Whoop and show kind of my biggest concern about the last couple of weeks has been my recovery. I will like screen record and show this too, but my recovery lately has been like all yellow and red. You can basically see since the middle of February, I've been struggling to get a good night's sleep and recovery. And this past week has just been entirely shot, basically from the stress. So then when I kind of go into all the settings and look at average resting heart rate and my average heart rate throughout the day, they're both extremely high compared to normal, way outside of my normal range. And sleep performance has been low, but yeah, a 23 recovery, don't love that. Right now, my only very elevated health marker is resting heart rate, which is probably due to stress, but is what it is. You know, like there's lifestyle things that are happening outside of my training, and I just love the little graph that's like how much work you should be putting in compared to how much work you are putting in. I will say that Whoop generally, one of my biggest complaints is that I can never get into some of those higher strain numbers. Even on days that I will, like the hardest day I ever biked, I think I got a 18, and I did like 70 miles and it was like 90 degrees outside. Everybody else was getting major strains and I was not. So I'm grateful to have the data while I'm training for the triathlon, but I do think I'll end this subscription later, and I do have it on my docket to kind of go through Whoop as a fitness band and kind of like the tech behind it. It's good to just look through my numbers and kind of have a consistent data source. So basically all that's left is to say where I'm going from here. And essentially, I'm calling these last 2 weeks a wash. I did what I could. It wasn't a lot. I'm not super happy about it, but it is what it is, and I'm going to let go of that so that I can move on into these next 4 weeks. And I already talked a bit about my training goals, getting time in the water, miles in on the treadmill, and miles in on the bike. But for eating, I've noticed that I have not been getting in my vegetables, and I've been trying to up my water and electrolyte consumption, especially on days that I'm working out. But also just generally, I feel like, especially a little bit of time away from my desk, my office, I wasn't picking up my water bottle that I keep on my desk all the time. So I don't think I was drinking as much during vacation. And then the kicker, drinking. I feel like drinking is a very controversial thing in the world of active lifestyles, athletes, people who make YouTube and talk about wellness influencing. But I really enjoy an alcoholic beverage every once in a while. I enjoy going out with my friends and like having a good old time. But it really does affect my sleep, and it affects how I feel, and it affects my next day. And I know that I'm not ever going to be one of those people like totally gives up a glass of wine or going out. So I think in the same way that people don't drink when they have work the next day, I will not be drinking on days that I'm training the next day. And so the way that I want to think about that and kind of go about scheduling that is to really schedule in my workouts like they are times on the calendar. And I've spoken about this, and I tried it, and I only somewhat accomplished it basically because of the last few weeks. But knowing exactly when the pool is open is my really hot ticket item. So I've put that into my calendar, like precisely when the pool opens and closes, how many lanes are available. That's going to get me into the pool. And knowing that after work is when the treadmills are always taken, it's a good incentive to get there right after my work ends, because my work day does end a little bit before the average person. So I feel like I can get in, get my workout, and get out before the major rush. That kind of schedule is really going to help, I think, in the future. And biking is honestly something that I do most because it's the most convenient right here in my house. And Eric's been nice to want to cycle with me sometimes. So I think that gives me a little extra push. And I think new gear also gives me a new push. I have a new swimsuit, a new pair of running shoes, and new cleats and pedals now. So I'm like fully set on special new gear. I just need a bike tune-up before the spring comes, and I'm gonna be golden. I'm excited. I love new things. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, I am excited to keep going. I'm excited to keep training. I'm excited to move on from the past couple of weeks I've had and on to bigger and better things this spring.